Is it finally the end of Xbox? Microsoft has replaced all of the top leadership over the console and now put in charge a young woman who was over AI before. That has people scratching their heads and wondering what's coming for the studios. And oh, by the way, Microsoft owns a bunch of them. Bought and paid for, they've got Activision, they've got Blizzard, they've got the folks behind Skyrim, they've got everything. But now all of it may be going broke under the woke of Microsoft. Hello, folks, and happy Monday. What a great day to be alive and thriving, I tell you. It's time to talk about, though, something that is not doing so. The opposite, a 180 from the 360 days. Xbox just might be going away. At least that's the takeaway from one real-life fake wizard who is a true-life real gamer. Fake wizard, how are you today?
I am doing, well, I wish I could say I was doing great, but as an Xbox fan, I'm not doing so hot.
So, Wiz, what you're telling me is you're not the kind of guy who knows where the triangles and squares are when you're playing a controller that's not Xbox brand.
You know, sometimes you hit the wrong buttons. It's hard to know what the difference is, but you get over it. But unfortunately here, I don't know if we're going to be getting over this too quickly or too easily. I think what's going on with Xbox and Microsoft is a big indicator of what's happening with the overall games industry, and it just doesn't look good.
You know, Wiz, at least we're not back in the days of Kinect with Milo, right? At least we're not there.
I like the Kinect, and I miss Just Dance on the Kinect. That was a fun time.
There you go. Hey, folks, let's dive in, and we'll connect with you what's really going on with Xbox and why it might be going away forever. This out of CNBC. This is what the normies are saying about it. Jordan Novett says Microsoft Xbox chief Phil Spencer retires, replaced by AI executive Asha Sharma. Now, Wiz, was Phil Spencer, was he the head of Xbox ever since the debut of Xbox? He's been there forever.
No, he's 2014. Phil Spencer became the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, and he was running Xbox. But he has something close to, if not over 30 years of experience being with Xbox, just in different positions. But people recognize him. Phil Spencer was involved with a lot of stuff. He was the face of it, and he went on YouTube channels and he talked with people, and he was at events. He would be on the ground floor interacting with people. Phil Spencer was one of the icons in the games industry. So this is a surprising series of events.
But Wiz, he also oversaw the collapse of the brand, right? And the wokeification of the studios. 343 and Halo is no more. I mean, it's still there, but they're so silly. They're putting out terrible 5th grade level skins of Halo that virtue signal every single month. So this guy didn't have a great track record at the end. I mean, if you think about 360, shocked the world by being the best selling, at least in North America, console, versus PlayStation and Nintendo had knocked the others out with this stodgy Bill Gates company actually taking the lead. And they blew it, Wiz. They blew it.
Yeah. What's interesting here is if we look at like the history with Xbox, we had Don Matrick, who was the leader at the time through the Xbox 360 era. He was on for 6 years. But they saw the rise of what we talk about all the time, which is streaming and entertainment as far as like movies and television. And they saw all of the data from people using their Xboxes to watch Netflix.
That's right.
And that's why the Xbox One was so ingrained with everything it was. That had a collapse. But Phil Spencer, as you said, Pro, was the guy that was supposed to fix Xbox after the Xbox One collapsed. And every franchise has fallen through the grate. Every franchise in Xbox has fallen through the cracks. Gears of War is gone. Halo is a mess. Fable is a disaster. The top 3 Xbox franchises that come to mind. Crackdown is gone. There's 4. And you could just keep naming all of these Xbox IP that have fallen by the wayside under Phil's leadership. Was
Fable ever really not a disaster? I mean, let's just be honest about it. I mean, you and I both know.
Yeah, it's sold, though. It's sold. People liked it. People bought it. Fable 2 did pretty good numbers.
Wiz, it's time to bring back Fusion Frenzy. That's all we can do now. Bring back Fusion Frenzy and the Duke controller. All right, let's dive into what CNBC says. It says Microsoft's head of gaming, Phil Spencer, is leaving the software maker following a 38-year tenure. That's a lot. Quote, last year, Phil Spencer made the decision to retire from the company, and since then, we've been talking about succession planning. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella wrote in a memo to employees that was published on Friday. Quote, I want to thank Phil for his extraordinary leadership and partnership. But the strange thing about this, Wiz, is that they didn't tell us We didn't know this was going to happen, and it happened on the end of a Friday, and we all know what happens on the end of Fridays. When they make these kinds of announcements, it means they want to hide the ball. And here's the ball that they were trying to hide, apparently, from thatparkplace.com, the website that goes deeper and beyond what the mainstream does. Marvin Montanero, the writer here. Xbox leadership rocked as Phil Spencer retires. Sarah Bond resigns. So Sarah Bond also went down. And who did they find? Who has been found? Well, if we go down here, keep on going. Asha Sharma. She's taken over. But Wiz, she's not a gaming girl, and they're trying to make her be a gamer girl. This is just come out and say she's not a gamer girl. She's the head of AI. Why are they going to the head of AI?
Well, there's a lot of things to speculate on here. It's hard to know exactly what they're thinking, but and that's really where I'm coming from with anything I have to say for Xbox. Clearly, she was brought in for a reason. We know that if we look at in 2023, Microsoft said that Xbox needs to hit a 30% profit margin. We know that they have not succeeded with that. So that's 24 and 25. They failed to do that. And then we now know that 2025 was a terrible year for Xbox sales. We know that that's not a good sign either. So for them to be bringing her in, and we know that Microsoft is really invested in the growth of AI. And this is the AI of a president of one of the AI products of Microsoft. It's looking like video games is going to get some kind of an AI kick to try to push them closer to profitability. Personally, I think it's going to diminish the Xbox brand further. That's my hypothesis at this point. She's not being brought in to reintegrate gamers into the gamer space. She's being brought in to make this thing profitable or to make it go away.
Well, okay, let's talk about them because I don't have a problem with AI in some scenarios, and I want to go through that list and see what you think, okay? So If for AI in gaming, I have no problem with the idea of an RPG when you go up and you talk to a little NPC in the town, that the town person, it's using AI to give you a unique conversation every single time. I get no problem with a little chat GPT bot inside the NPC so that you feel like you're talking to an organic character who's not following a script. Any problem there, Wiz?
I think that's something AI should be used for. That's a great idea.
Okay. I have no problem with artists using AI to generate textures for games. I don't see any reason for somebody to be actually sitting there making textures for grass and boulders. Like just make it. It'll do it in 5 seconds. I got no problem there.
Super time consuming. That is, let's expedite that to AI. 100%.
Okay. And I have no problem whatsoever with playing a game like Doom, where AI is being used to generate a dungeon randomly so that I'm always having a new experience whenever I'm playing a game.
I think that's fine too.
Okay.
There's a lot of places where AI can fit into gaming to optimize it.
So if we think about this optimistically, there's a chance, as Lloyd Christmas once said, there's a chance that this woman could be brought in to do the right thing. There's also the chance that she's being brought in to produce slop, even though she says she's not. So Wiz, what could be happening in the gaming industry with AI combined with woke that really would break everything?
Well, I think what's really scary is when we look at the games industry as a whole, the whole industry, not just Xbox, is experiencing mass consolidation right now. All of the big heaviest hitters are buying up everything. And that's what's kind of crazy about how Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond were how they exited. They were part of a near $80 billion in acquisitions of acquiring all these companies, right? So
yeah.
Microsoft now owns all this stuff.
Including Blizzard, including Activision. It's wild.
Bethesda, Activision, these are massive companies that now
produce nothing, Wiz. Where's my Skyrim? Where's my next game there?
Well, that's a completely separate tangent story, and I'm not happy about that either. But it's what happens next, because the market has figured out, or really the industry has figured out. They've been telling their shareholders that live service is the future for about 10 years, and that's not the case anymore. Of the 19 games that dropped in 2025, 15 of them have fallen off by 80% of their player base or more. So we've got games that are 99% of their player base is gone. These live service is not the pathway anymore, number one. Number two, it is too expensive. The industry has bloated itself that it costs too much to make video games now. We're looking at a $200 million baseline to make a game. So now
AI can fix that.
Yes. So I'm thinking she's being brought in to do something, likely integrating AI into gaming, like everything we just described, maybe, but she has no experience with the games industry. She doesn't understand who the player base is because she's not a gamer herself. She doesn't understand what kind of mindset a gamer is in. I think that could be detrimental, and I'm curious to see where that goes from there.
I think it's detrimental that Microsoft is one of those woke companies. They've decided to do that. And I think it's resulted in the ideological capture of their studios. I think that the big companies now are having to pivot by purchasing and getting licensing rights with all of the AA studios, not the AAA studios, because they've turned the AAA studios into cesspools of social justice nonsense and propaganda. So, Wiz, I think that the gaming industry, and by the way, it can't go under because it's 14 times the size statistically as the theatrical industry. So it can't go down. We can't lose gaming. It's 14 times economically. And so that's why they're being forced to pivot. And this situation, the tumult at Xbox might be coming to some of our other favorite studios, Nintendo and this new lady they've hired over Nintendo of America, and putting this crazy content into kids stuff over there. You would think like that should be anathema to Japan. They should be saying, no, we don't want to become like Xbox. But for whatever reason, we're in this very strange place where everybody knows this will kill the gaming industry, but some people are afraid to call it out.
Well, the problem is when it comes to the gaming industry, with live service failing and games being, you cannot make games anymore for anything under 200 million. They're not taking risks. And also the fact of everything you just said, Pro, what they would have taken risks on are games no one wants.
Right.
So
Dustborn, High Guard, yeah, Concord.
So what's the solution that at least Xbox has pushed forward? Everything's an Xbox. Everything. So the games that we are making, the games that aren't really selling that well, we'll put them on every platform imaginable because then we'll have a better chance of meeting people where they are so that they'll buy our games. But even then, people don't want your games.
Well, how else are you going to claim that Candy Crush is on Xbox, Wiz? I mean, come on, give them a little, got to get King in there somehow.
And there's talk now with people that used to, or at least they still are, big time advocates for Xbox. These are the Xbox like super shills that are now saying that they're hearing from their sources in Microsoft that they're going to be there's potentially World of Warcraft is going to go on Game Pass, or that there's mobile games are going to be connected to Game Pass. That they need to find ways to make Game Pass more valuable to gamers because
it's like the Netflix of gaming, but it totally failed. I told you, Wiz, to stay off Bill Gates' X account. I told you to stay away from there. He's done stuff. Okay, I don't care if he's a shill.
I ain't going near him.
Amen to that. All right, folks, we'll be covering this, by the way, later today, talking about how AAA studios are going away in favor of AA. Don't miss that. It's a strange day. We very seldomly cover gaming, but this is such a big deal. Again, the industry is 14 times. It's huge in entertainment, and this is massive. Wiz, this is one of the strangest parts of it all. People are calling out the new head of Xbox because, and it's kind of ironic and delicious at the same time, that the head of AI, now the gaming head, is being accused of using AI and not being real. Pirate Nation says this: X users are noticing and claiming the new Xbox CEO could be using AI in replies and that the whole account might be managed by an AI bot. You can see here some evidence of that. Great list. I did my top 3 in another reply. Hello, Valheim 007. And it goes and goes. Smash JT getting in here says, okay, I'll play your game, you rogue. And said, again, great list. I did my top 3 in another reply. Hello, Valheim 007. Wait a minute. That's the exact same reply. Well done, Smash JT. Well done. So people are starting to notice the replies are the same. But it actually gets worse, Wiz. Like, if she's not a gamer, just come out and say so. It's okay. Apparently, and I can't corroborate this, but it's been shown to me by people that I trust very much. Apparently, her Xbox gaming account that they've made public has all of these achievements that suddenly happened on the day she was named as the head of the gaming unit. She must have played a lot that day.
That's right. And so her account is only 3 weeks old, and all of the achievements are done on the same day. So
why, Wiz? Why are they doing? Well, they got to know we'll know this in like 5 minutes.
But that's the point. I think that's the whole point, is because they knew, gamers are always saying we need gamers in leadership positions. Okay, well, here's somebody who's obviously not a gamer in a leadership position, but they knew that we were going to ask these questions. So what did they do? They padded it and they let it and they ran with it. It doesn't actually matter what her answers are. The fact is that we are distracted talking about that. And gamers are distracted talking about her gaming resume when they should be asking, why her? Why was she brought in? Why didn't Phil get a big send-off with a red carpet? I mean, like I had said earlier, $80 billion in acquisitions this man was a part of. That's history there. Sarah Bond as well. She was the heir apparent. She's been with the company for years as well. Nothing? These people just left in a memo? They retired and resigned in a Friday afternoon memo?
Wiz, they had this plan for like 7 years, man. It was all, nothing to see here. Move on. And
there was no cake? There was no, not even a lunch, not
even
a pizza party in the office, nothing.
They're vegan. They're on vegan keto, man. Come on.
And every insider who their job is to cover Xbox news, and they usually get a lot of things right, none of them saw this coming. Everyone's surprised about this. I understand you want to have him sent off and say, well, we planned this, right? But clearly there's something wrong going on in Microsoft. And the fact that we know their numbers are not great. But for us to see that Phil might have been shown the door, and the fact that not enough people are talking about that means we're letting them get away. We are not scrutinizing this company, which has also made some terrible decisions for gamers. Like, they've made some really anti-consumer moves. They tried to break into the $80 video game price point just last year. They failed. They failed at that. We should be scrutinizing them to the furthest degree, and we're too busy talking about her fake resume. It's a distraction, and I'm not happy about it.
Any chance Xbox comes back from this?
I don't know. They should have come back after the Xbox One, but the Xbox Series XS has been nothing but a disaster.
Which are stupidly named, by the way. They were the Series X, Series. It's stupid names. Anybody could come up with something better.
You know what? You know what could save them now, Pro? Making good games.
That's
They've
impossible.
Lost the ability to do that. You can introduce all the AI in the world. You can't make these people can't make good games anymore.
I've heard it's humanly impossible to make a good game. You're asking too much, Wiz. There's no possibility we could ever do it.
We got some indie guys over here that are doing really good indie games. Like, it's possible, but you have to be able to create and innovate. And AAA's lost that.
Now, you know a little bit about indie games, I believe, Wiz. Tell the folks out there what you've been involved in.
Yeah, so we've been working directly with indie games and indie game developers. We created this platform called fakeportal.com, which is specifically supposed to be an indie game discovery network. When you talk to gamers and you say, like, hey, go play indie games, they're a lot of fun. Unfortunately, people say, where do I find them? I don't know where to find them. Is it on Steam? Can I find them on my Nintendo Switch? And so we developed, and this is a growing, living, breathing platform. It's growing every day, right? Of new games from indie developers, from small teams. And we're adding new stuff all the time. We're really excited about this. We've got a lot of people on here already, and it's totally free, and it's going to remain forever free for developers and users. We just
very
want
cool
to support the industry in a place where, well, we know that there's growth, and we know that AAA is not happy about that growth, but it could be the difference between seeing real change done in this industry. So we're here for it.
You know the next giant battle, Wiz?
What's that?
Those indie developers, they're going to get AI tools, and some of them are going to be told you're not allowed to use them, and some of them are going to use them anyway. And those who use them the right way, not to make slop, but they're going to have the power of a studio at their hands. Look out. And that's going to create a war. That's going to create a war because they're going to be ostracized and hated for it.
The vacuum's coming.
Sweep them up, baby. Sweep them up. Oh, wait, that's a broom. All right, folks, we've got room for just one more request. That is, click the like button, drop a comment, share, subscribe. And if you got time, go over and subscribe to Real Life Fake Wizard. He's on a meteoric rise here on YouTube. They can't stop him. They can't slow him down. Wiz, what's coming to town on your YouTube? Wiz, what's coming to town on your YouTube? Good grief, bro. I can't say it. We should leave this in just for the blooper. Folks, should we leave this in? We'll leave it in.
Leave it in.
Wiz, tell us what's coming to your YouTube channel real soon. I said it!
We're going to be talking more about this Xbox stuff. I have a whole lot of research being done by my team and I to really deep dive what else is going on here and where does it all go. So we're covering that over on the Real Life Acquisition channel a lot this week.
There you go. Folks, we'll see you real soon. Next video in Pig Latin, because that's one language I can still do. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Listen up, my brothers and sisters. You've been listening to Phils and those with an agenda to destroy your brain cells for far too long. It's time to change your way of doing things. Hold up. TPP is the place to be. Covering the news so honestly. It's a team that's cool and tried and true. Ahead of the culture curve, they're trying to keep you. Jonas and Pro, they run the show, and they dragged in the bearded culture casino. You got Valiant and Lord and Fourth of Line. Wonderful people, yeah, they're alright. They got weird bringing in people like Floral, but made no mistake with Lorena Creole. Amelia and John, stuttering guitarist. Martin and Tawny and someone called CMS. Fat Steven makes a bunch of other graphics. Did I mention a partnership with Bending in the comics? Fat Sky is a guy and Doc Matt does the web stuff. There's probably some people I missed. I hope they're not telling you the news that should be fun. With accurate info that's not been spun. You can figure it out as you will see. The TPP is the place to be.
Yeah, Wilton. That was actually pretty good, or white. But I think you might have forgotten Vash.
Well, he lost all his friends. But it was implied.